A new wave of high-tech homes is exploding across the world. Homes that float on water. This series explores the clever design and engineering behind these waterborne dream houses, as we follow the pioneers taking the ultimate plunge, building their own incredible floating homes.
It doesn't get better than this.
Today, two newlyweds
Let's go catch us a houseboat.
face big challenges with their waterborne build,
This float is the largest float we've done to date.
while another brave couple launch one from land.
It's so steep. Oh my God.
The house could actually shift and then we would have quite a disaster.
Only to find that it's threatening to sink.
That's got to be straightened out very quick.
Imagine living in a house with a view like this. Well, for most of us, owning a waterfront home is something we can only dream about. But there's a growing movement, pioneering visionaries who want to live not by the water, but on it, and all for a fraction of the cost of building a house on land. Floating homes are proving hugely popular in the city of Vancouver on Canada's west coast. With its golden beaches, breathtaking mountain scenery and numerous marinas, it's not surprising that this city is at the forefront of this revolution. The homes come in all shapes and sizes, from handmade shanty houses to beautifully designed mansions. Newlyweds Aaron Orion and his wife Heather have had their eye on this unique way of living for years.
Sort of a compromise from me wanting to live in a house in suburbia and Aaron wanting to live in a penthouse downtown. So we'll go with the in-between on the water. In our condos downtown, we can actually see the floating homes right in front of us, and they're beautiful.
It's definitely a lifestyle choice.
Aaron and Heather rent this 12th floor one-bed apartment in the heart of Vancouver's bustling downtown. Now they're married, they're ready to put down roots.
We're expanding. We're trying to build a family. And you can't really do that in a condo downtown.
Priced out of the downtown area, they've decided to take the plunge and more. A brand new floating home here at Creek Marina, an innovative 5-year-old development on Vancouver's North Shore. That's an easy commute from the city. Priced to attract first-time buyers, there are now 22 floating homes here, with more being added by the month.
I think living in a float home had been an unattainable dream before now. So coming to this marina and having the option of just purchasing or building our own floating home is an amazing opportunity.
Aaron and Heather want a unique 2-story layout. The sleeping areas will be downstairs on the lower floor. A bright and airy ensuite master bedroom has large sliding doors opening to a balcony with views onto the marina. Upstairs, an ultra-modern, bright and airy open-concept living space to entertain and relax in front of a sleek gas fireplace. They'll have spectacular panoramic views over the harbour and North Shore mountains from both inside and out. The cost of building this spacious and light-filled home, complete with mooring, £350,000.
I think that living in a marina like this would be really good for our lifestyle. It would allow us to be close to the boat and have some peace and quiet away from the city.
Now all they need is a house. The brains behind these spectacular and innovative homes is Donnie McKillock. He's designing and building a bespoke one for Aaron and Heather at this dockside yard 7 miles upriver.
This is essentially where the float comes after it's been put together.
Donnie will build the floating foundation on land, then launch it before building the house on top.
Build our wood frame on top of this.
We'll build the wood frame on top of this, and that's it.
Building on water will make measuring angles tricky, but will avoid the dangers of sliding the finished house into the river. So how does a house float on water? Polystyrene blocks are light and float. So Donny's crew arranges 90 60-pound blocks to form a level base. They cut trenches into the 2.5-ton platform for the water pipes and utilities. They wrap reinforced steel around the blocks to make the structure strong enough to build on. Then Donny's workers seal all sides of the platform with concrete to make it into a watertight, unsinkable floating box. It's spring and the start of the 6-month build.
We've opted to give the homeowner as much interior space as we can. So the floats are 20 by 40.
It takes 5 tons of steel and 33 tons of concrete to build 6 panels that make up the hollow box. 90 polystyrene blocks then slot inside. Aaron and Heather's house is so big, Donny's team must build their giant float in 2 halves and then join them together. Constructing the float is just the beginning. Next, they face the challenge of launching it into the water and building the 60-ton house on top. Across town, another couple are just starting their floating home adventure.
Away we go.
John and Lorraine Van Tol like to escape the hubbub of downtown every chance they can get.
Looks like it's going to turn out to be a nice day. We get out on the boat, and it's night and day. It's such a difference.
It just calms you. It kind of gives you a little peace of mind.
They're planning to design and build a waterborne home and moor it at this marina in Ladner on the Fraser River, just south of the city. It's home to an expanding community of more than 500 floating homes.
Every time that we've gone out boating, we've gone by the floating homes. You think, oh, I'd love to live there.
John and Lorraine want a truly massive 3-story mansion. Huge windows on the upper 2 floors will offer panoramic river views. The lower floor, with master bedroom, will feel the most private. Upstairs, a vast open concept living, dining and kitchen space will be ideal for relaxing or socialising. Floor-to-ceiling windows will flood the room with light and give them those all-important views onto the river. The top floor boasts another bright, open-plan entertaining space. A wall of large glass doors leads out onto a sun deck, a great space for barbecues and parties. And on the side of the house will be an attached boathouse. With it, they can step out of the cabin cruiser and onto their house with ease. The total cost of the build alone will be just under £275,000. They've found the perfect empty spot.
Here we go. It's going to get easier when the new ramp's here.
This double mooring has space for a new build waterborne home and their boat. It's on the market for £400,000.
The land is quite expensive here, but look what you get.
To design their dream floating home from scratch,
You were saying something about a boathouse beside it too, or?
they've hired Ken Vandervelt, a local architect.
Worked on a lot of floating homes, but never one with a boathouse. You want to get access to the boat on both sides.
So you're in the boathouse, walk right around the boat.
Where are you hoping to have the best view from?
We'd like to have as big of windows on that side where the view is, and so we can see the sunsets over there.
Yeah, it's a good looking spot.
Ken will have his work cut out delivering the perfect design for John and Lorraine. To fund the build, they've sold their 6-bedroom home on the city limits.
So yeah, we've had this house and the kids were here a lot, and you know, we had really good times in here, but the kids are all moved away now and we're here in this big huge house by ourselves, and It's just a little bit too big. So now it's time for us to get our house just where we want it, right on the water and smaller.
They've swapped it for this converted trailer, which will be their tiny home for the next 9 months.
This is my house. It's very hard with daily life. I just can't wait to get a bigger kitchen. So you're out of my way. You're just always in my way.
Or you're out of my way.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Not surprisingly, they want to move into their floating home as soon as possible. Their house will be built 9 miles upriver on the dockside at this yard, run by Matt Tobias.
Go do it. Thank you, sir. Attaboy.
Matt's never built a 3-story monster like this before, and he doesn't want to build it on water.
Very difficult to build on the water. You can't use a level and you can't use a plumb bob. What we do is we build the whole thing on land.
But constructing such a large float home on land has its own challenges. While building on solid, stable ground means measuring accurate angles is a cinch, the downside is that once their home is built, they'll need to slide the entire 200-ton structure down the steep slip and into the water. A risky business.
As the home is being put into the water, we don't want a big wave to sort of push it up and down. And that's where our 30 years of experience comes in.
Matt's team get to work building the massive floating base they'll construct the house on. Floating homes are a whole new way of enjoying a waterside lifestyle. And these aren't just boats. These are spacious houses on the water. They have big kitchens, dining rooms, even basements, all built on a floating foundation. If it wasn't for the stunning views, you wouldn't even know you were on the water. On Vancouver's North Shore, the thriving community of 50 aquatic homes at Creek Marina is about to get a new addition. Donnie's team has just 6 months to build Aaron and Heather's 2-story floating home before winter kicks in.
If we could see the reflection of the water on the ceiling, that would be fantastic.
It's a big day on site. Donnie has built the 39-ton floating base in 2 sections.
This float is the largest float we've done to date.
Once they're in the water, the 2 halves need to be fixed together.
We launch the 2 halves into the water. They've got a key that locks them together. We bolt them tight and we weld them all together, and there's your float. One solid piece and we're ready to start building.
Work can now start building the house on the water using a conventional wooden frame build. To maximise space inside, they must build the walls to the edges of the float.
There are 2 floors on it and there's limited square footage. It's not like you have a basement or a garage. It's all contained within that 1 unit. It's coming along nice. Good work, guys. Looks awesome.
Building the 2nd floor will have its challenges. The open concept kitchen and living room with a feature fireplace also has to accommodate an office area for Heather, who works from home.
When you're in a small space, you have to be clever and you need to use all the square footage.
As the walls go up, Donnie realises there isn't enough space for both a 2nd toilet and office upstairs. So he redesigns the layout. They'll remove the spare washroom, slice the staircase wall in half, and add an extra window to create a bright and roomy office space for Heather with inspiring quayside views.
If you're going to be spending a certain amount of time in one space, you want light from all angles. It's a really clever use of the space, and we'll probably incorporate it into maybe some of our future plans.
With the shell complete, the team start the plumbing. All the plumbing outlets were cast into the float when the concrete was poured. Pipes for gas heating, water, waste pipes for sewage, and all the electrical cables will run beneath a network of ramps. The ramps link the final moorings together and run to a connection point on the shore. It's not long before Aaron and Heather's dream floating house starts to feel like a real home.
Let's see what's going on. There's the view I like.
Aaron's checking up on progress. Has the new upstairs layout left enough room for an office desk for Heather?
My lovely fiance, soon-to-be wife, will be down here. So I've done this a couple times, looking out these windows and made sure they're about right. And again, we have, sort of two views for her to look at. I'm sure she'll be happy.
The clever use of space doesn't stop with their office. The ground floor space inside a floating home is limited by the size of the square concrete foundation block. But upstairs, there's a way of buying extra space for features like gas fires and bookcases. To do this, designers add cantilevered overhangs into the walls, creating extra space on the upper floor.
Aaron and Heather have a cantilever on their home for a fireplace, so we're not taking any of the interior space.
It not only accommodates space for a gas fire, but also additional storage drawers and display shelves.
We wouldn't have that space had we not cantilevered the fireplace, so it's a very good use of space.
A special vent on the cantilever wall channels away any poisonous carbon monoxide fumes. Final task before the house heads to its mooring: fit a porcelain tile backsplash in the kitchen. Tomorrow, they face their next big challenge, dodging high tides and river traffic to tow the Orion's dream house to Creek Marina. 20 miles south near Ladner, it's a big day for John and Lorraine Van Tol.
What's going on?
As their giant float home begins to take shape.
How's it going?
It's going.
There's no one way to build a float. Some are constructed the traditional way, from a lattice of logs. As long as the house is not too heavy, the buoyant wood will keep it above the waterline. But with heavier homes, there are two options. First option, build it on top of a sealed open concrete box, like the hull of a ship. Second option, use massive polystyrene blocks, then surround these in concrete. Just like Aaron and Heather's base, Matt will use this method for the Van Tol's float.
Basically, it's a polystyrene foam billet, which is the same as this piece right here, similar to a styrofoam cup.
But this styrofoam cup will be huge, requiring 3 times more blocks than Aaron and Heather's float, creating twice as much floor space.
We cut the channels for all the plumbing and all the reinforcing steel.
They use steel rods to tie the blocks together.
So these steel bars are all over the float to give it structural integrity. Today is the pour day. So today we're casting the float.
A wooden mold is built around the polystyrene blocks. Then Matt's team pour concrete around the float and leave it to set.
Basically what you've built is an upside down shoebox, the shoebox being the concrete reinforcing shell, and inside the shoebox is your polystyrene foam. Once we pour the concrete shell and it's all finished, then we can start building a house.
Architect Ken Vandervelt is putting the finishing touches to the design. But he spotted a problem.
As things sort of progressed along, it became obvious that the boat house would have to be a separate float from the main float of the house, because if a wave came along, there was a weak point and it would crack there.
Fortunately, he's come up with a clever solution. Build the boathouse separately, then connect it using special hinges, so it can move freely with the waves.
Once the floating home is in place, then the boathouse will be brought into place and attached to the house with the hinge. Hopefully there won't be any structural issues.
With the boathouse problem solved, the team assemble the wood frame of the house onto the floating foundations. Their goal is to complete the build before the winter. With that winter deadline looming, owner John, who's a carpenter, leads the build.
But I think we could stick it by 1 3/4 on each side if we doubled the length.
In just 4 weeks, the shell is erected and covered in a weatherproof concrete composite. The panoramic windows are in and the house is ready for the interiors.
We wanted to maximize the view. We wanted to maximize the open living space so it's all joined together. And we wanted to maximize the size to fit with the water and the height. And we accomplished all of that. I'm quite pleased with the final result.
So this is our master bedroom. I'm gonna have a nice little sitting area right here and a nice lounge. I envision a nice lounge that I can just lay down and, and relax. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to sleep in here.
Before Matt's team fit out the house, they must launch it into the water and tow it to its mooring. Time to find out if this huge home will sink or swim.
When it comes to the day of the launch, we basically have to make sure that the whole house is secured. We shrink wrap the house because once it's in the water, it's going to be towed. We want to make sure that the house is secured and watertight for the tow because there may be a wave that comes through or whatever. When you're dealing with somebody's home, that pressure falls on your shoulders a little bit and you want everything to go just right.
Matt's crew will roll the house down rails into the water, controlling the speed with pulleys. It's like launching a boat, but there are risks with this launch. The massive windows at the front of the house could cause it to tilt or take on water in the lower decks, risking it sinking. They can add extra polystyrene blocks to level the house, but not until it's waterborne.
You're going to have to pick this thing up that's 100 tons and place it in the water, and that's the biggest stress that it will take. We're all concerned about when it goes over the side. There's obviously going to be some racking of the house, and put some bracing there just to give the windows another added safety margin there.
As it starts to go 15 degrees down the ramp, it's going to want to push that way. And potentially, I could even see windows cracking. So I'm putting these braces here, right below the steel beam.
Matt's team need to launch the house at high tide when the river water is as close to the ramp as possible. High tide today lasts just 2 hours around midnight. This will be a race in the dark.
I'm quite nervous about the whole thing. It's a pretty big thing, and Lorraine is especially nervous, I can tell.
The concept of floating homes is so new, no one's yet worked out the perfect way to build them. Some prefer to construct the homes on land and then launch them down a ramp in the same way you would an ocean liner. Others prefer to put a floating base in the water and then build the house on top of that. Either way, you've still got to move that house to its permanent mooring, and that is easier said than done. When you're talking about a large, heavy wooden box that has no engine to power it, and no steering. In Vancouver, Aaron and Heather's water-based build has taken almost 6 months to complete. Today is move day. No easy task for a floating house that's the same size as a ferry, without any of a ferry's power or navigational aids. Donnie's tug crew must tow the 140-ton house through the Second Narrows, a particularly fast-flowing stretch of water avoiding sea buses and container ships to reach the mooring at Creek Marina. First challenge, snake the house out of the slip.
How we doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
I'm so excited.
It's an emotional day. They've been waiting for a while to get their house.
I just want to see it moving. See it moving in the channel next to all the big ships. It's moving. It's moving.
A collision with a post or the bridge could take out a wall.
The man cave is just passing me now. Look at that, how cool is that? I feel like a kid in a candy store.
It's amazing how quickly they turn it around.
Yeah.
Yay! All right, let's go catch up to her.
Aaron and Heather follow their fragile home as it begins its journey out in the open channel.
Okay, sweetie, let's go catch us a houseboat.
Let's do it.
All right.
Obstacles crowd the route ahead.
We've just got to watch out for any current or pleasure boat traffic or deep sea traffic because it's slack tide now. There'll probably be a bunch of deep seas moving, and we also have to watch for the sea bus that crosses every 10 or 15 minutes.
We're having to navigate the sea bus that has just come in across our path here. What do you think, babe?
Pretty amazing.
I know, we got sun, we got a beautiful view. It doesn't get better than this.
It takes 6 hours dodging river traffic and strong swells to guide the house to Creek Marina. Aaron and Heather arrive at their mooring to watch their house sail home, hopefully in one piece.
Mosquito Creek is another set of challenges. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze getting in. There's yachts on his port side and on his starboard side coming in. He has to be careful, and he's got to navigate his waters appropriately.
Steering the house through the currents and yachts to its mooring won't be easy.
One more corner, one more corner. Just threading the needle here. Impressive.
Final step, anchor the house into its mooring.
There it is! There it is! Thanks, Tony!
In place.
My house is here. Beautiful mountains. The downtown view, which I've been dreaming about probably for, let's say 7 months. I'm just speechless. This is unbelievable.
Wow, that's
What do you
a nice view.
Downtown,
Yeah.
killer.
This house may be a home, but there's a mountain of work to do before Aaron and Heather can move in.
I'm really looking forward to being able to move into the home. I just really want it to be done.
While Aaron and Heather's home has been built on the water, 20 miles south, John and Lorraine's 182-ton house has been built on land. And as night falls, now it needs to be launched into the river.
It's actually not our regular launch where we don't normally do a night launch. The owner really didn't want to wait another 5 or 6 days for a daytime high tide.
Winching the house down the slope into the water is a precarious operation. especially with more windows on one side, unbalancing the load.
The two truck drivers there, they probably have the most important job because they have to very carefully release the cables. If they slip up and suddenly let go of the cable too quickly, the house could actually shift and turn on the beams, and then we would have quite a disaster.
Hey Tom, 1 foot.
Oh my God.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm concerned about windows.
I hope they're okay. I hope the windows are okay.
Maybe the.
Look, it's so steep.
Well, it's about as steep as it gets right now.
John.
It's the moment of truth. Will John and Lorraine's dream house sink or swim?
We're all looking at the water line right now to see when that front part starts to float.
Oh, it's coming up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's starting to pop up.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh.
See, I told you.
Oh, you did tell me.
It floats.
That was so amazing. It's amazing.
But as they feared, the extra weight at the front means that part of the building tilts 2 feet lower into the water than the rear.
Oh, man.
A fault they don't have time to fix until the house reaches its mooring.
One corner is quite a bit further down than the rest of the home. Right now, there's no fix. There's basically that you have to wait until the house is completed.
Now tugboat skipper Captain Mowat must dodge boats to tow the house 9 miles downriver.
Well, I'm just waiting for these guys to get the cables hooked here, then it's all mine, so.
This will be anything but plain sailing. The tilt creates more drag on one side, making it trickier for Captain Mowat to dodge obstacles.
I mean, there's debris, logs, deadheads, all kinds of stuff that can pop up in the middle of the night if you're not paying attention.
Our house is gone.
Oh my God.
Fortunately, after 3 hours careful navigation, Captain Mowat safely lands the house at John and Lorraine's slip.
It's coming. I've got a house now.
Their house may be home, but it still needs balancing.
The lean on the house is not a very good result. That's got to be straightened out very quick.
The extra strain on the wooden frame means the house is beginning to tear itself apart.
And every day that goes by, the house leans a bit more. It has pushed in on this side, and if you come over to this side, it has come out. It's almost, in some ways, not safe. You never know, it could break.
Matt's team must fix extra polystyrene blocks underneath the foundations at the front of the house to level it up.
So the guys are now taking the blocks of foam and sticking it underneath the float. And once that is all in place, we're going to take our measurements.
If they can't level the float, the whole house may have to be pulled out of the water, setting their dream move back months. When a floating home is underway, the build is pretty much like any other wooden frame construction, but there's an added dimension the architects and builders need to think about, and that is weight and balance. Because if you decide that you want to put your lovely, huge designer kitchen on one side of your floating home, then you are going to list. You may well sink if an ocean liner goes past. So what you need to do is to put something else on the other side to counterbalance it. So that might be a bathroom, another toilet, even some storage. That way, even in the worst of conditions, you're nicely balanced. In North Vancouver, after 8 months' work, Aaron and Heather's dream floating home is finally fitted out and furnished. Every last fixture and fitting has been planned and placed to ensure perfect balance. Like most float homes, the bedrooms are on the lower floor. This saves the best views for the living areas on the upper levels. The upstairs space is made up of 4 distinct but connected zones: kitchen, dining room, living room, and office, all of which make the most of those views.
I love being in this space, and I mean, just looking at the mountains, I get to see mountains, I get to be on the ocean. It's inspiring in the morning.
It reaffirms that we made a pretty great choice with our home. We like the idea of having one great room where we can just comfortably live in the space together.
Classic Italian porcelain tiles complement the latest kitchen technology.
We really wanted a big hood, but because our house moves and rocks, the hood would rock as well. So we had to put this little James Bond thing that allows you to have ventilation for the stove.
And this cleverly designed interconnecting space means cooking is a truly social pastime.
There are nights where I cook and Heather gets to stay on the couch and watch her show or read.
We can still spend time together,
Exactly.
even when we're cooking or relaxing.
The focal point for their living area is the cleverly cantilevered fireplace and recessed alcoves.
We have some custom shelves that we're having built right now. So we'll have a drawer and 2 glass shelves to allow the light to come through and highlight any artwork pieces we choose to purchase in the future. I really love sitting in front of the fireplace with my book in hand and being able to look out and see the view. Just enjoy some peaceful time because it's so quiet here.
And Heather's equally spoiled while she's working from home. The office is stylish, roomy, and bathed in natural light.
Still get nice views out in the morning that see the sunrise. Windows that are in our stairway column, we can see out there. It is really nice having something nice to look at through the day while I'm working.
The floating home's relaxing outlook isn't limited to the upper floor.
This is our master bedroom. In the afternoon, we'll get beautiful patterns on the ceiling, which is really nice.
And falling asleep in the house has been nice because it's so similar to falling asleep on the boat. So we've kind of come to really love that feeling.
On the sun deck, the vistas speak for themselves.
You can see our beautiful mountain views from here. You can see a bit of dusting of snow up there on Gross, too.
To have a view of downtown and the sunsets we get.
We're enjoying our view.
Absolutely.
8 months after deciding to build a float home from scratch, Aaron and Heather have a unique, family-friendly home.
It was a little bit stressful, trying to get it all together. It's not a normal kind of build.
It's all worth it.
It's worth it, yeah. Finding something where we both are quite happy to come home to, excited to come home to, is a super win for both of us. I'm very, very lucky.
"20 miles to the south in Ladner, John and Lorraine haven't been so lucky. Their massive 3-story float home is listing to the left, because the weight isn't evenly distributed inside.
One corner of the home is slightly tilted over. So what we're going to do is we're going to take blocks of foam and we're going to stick it underneath to lift that corner up. And we're going to do that all the way along one side of the house. And that's going to change the trim of the house, and now it's going to sit level.
They have to put 5 blocks of polystyrene underneath to hopefully level it out.
And we have 22.5 inches. Perfect. She's sitting level.
Sitting level, we're happy. That's great.
Now they have to connect the house to land. Like the floating homes in North Vancouver, the floating homes here don't have a driveway or garden path. The same ramps that carry electricity cables and water pipes also link the house to the shore. But the tides here will raise or lower John and Lorraine's float home by up to 20 feet. So they've commissioned an ingenious 65-foot-long ramp that's hinged so it can pivot up or down to remain level all day long. It cost over £15,000.
Most ramps will go down to the bottom floor. This one goes to the middle floor.
They can finally board their house, but there's still a lot of work ahead to finish it.
We can go ahead and start decorating and get ready for everything now. It's going to be awesome.
It's been 9 months since work first began on John and Lorraine's floating home. And now the work is complete. Once again, this is upside-down living with the sleeping area downstairs, whilst an airy loft sits at the top. Sandwiched in between is the main floor with the open-plan kitchen, dining and living space. Every room has panoramic river views.
This is the favorite part of the house for me. You can see it's just so open and beautiful.
The windows that cause so much stress now offer soothing views.
You know, it was pretty scary with these windows, but so worth it. Look at the view that we've got.
Yeah,
It's just the best.
it is amazing.
The vaulted ceiling gives the living area an open feel.
It still feels open, but it's cozy. I wouldn't trade this for anything.
The kitchen sits at the heart of the house with the kind of detail and finish that would be the envy of any landlubber.
I just love this granite.
And the best seats of all go to dinner guests.
Right from your table, you're just looking out at all the nature.
Birds and seals swimming past.
I still get so excited every time that I see something swim past.
Downstairs in the master bedroom, the water's even closer.
I sleep on that side and I get to look out the window in the morning and I open my eyes and there's a swan swimming by. It's just awesome.
The ensuite washroom has plenty of space for a steam room and a bathtub. While the icing on the cake is a cozy hideaway at the top of the house.
And it's like a second living room or a family room.
Outside, a party deck. Next year, they'll add the boathouse to the outside to protect their 40-foot cruiser from the elements. It's a long time since John and Lorraine decided to build a waterborne home. Now they have a spacious retreat, as calm as the water.
You can't get better than this. This is just the ultimate lifestyle that we want.